Hello, writers! Today we are talking about opening up your blog post with a bang, writing great introductions and hooking your readers right away. So let's get started. Intros are important because they establish your credibility and your brand voice. Make sure you're using your brand voice in your introduction, whether it's formal, casual, fun, exciting. You should have that in mind when you're writing your introduction and ensure that you're writing in a way that is tailored to the reader as well as matching your brand voice. So you make sure you're incorporating the things that the reader is interested in, what they're looking to find out, objections they're looking to overcome, and concerns they may have. Add appeal. Okay, so in your intro, you want to appeal to your reader. And there are two main types of appeal you're going to want to focus on: emotional appeal and logical appeal. I'm more of a logical person, so logical appeal for me is super easy. But you kind of want to combine those. One, because lots of people, they're all very different, and some people appeal just are more logical and some people are more emotional. But in your intro, you want to kind of combine the two. And we'll talk about how to do that in our next slide. So, how to achieve emotional appeal. Include a relatable story, add in some humor. I'm kind of more of a formal writer, so sometimes throwing in humor can be a bit weird for me, but I can do it. Or write about a personal experience that, they can emotionally relate to. Now, how do you add logical appeal? I just added a cute little random image of the population, but graphs, statistics, charts, case studies, they're all very logical. Also, if you're going to do like step-by-step instructions, that's very logical. Make it easy to understand. Logical people don't want some flowery language that's just there for fun. They don't care about your vocabulary. Logical people just want the facts. They want them clear cut. And statistics, that's probably the easiest way to do that. Look up a statistic that relates to whatever you're talking about. All right, how are you going to hook your readers? So we talked about the appeal, the emotional appeal and the logical appeal, but you can include stories about when you've been in the reader's shoes, when you've been in the target market's shoes. And you can include before and after stories. For example, sometimes I write for software as a service companies. I'm a blogger. I've started my own blog. I can appeal to the target market of bloggers. I can say, hey, I've been in your shoes. I wanted to start my blog with that free Wix site, but HostGator was just a better option for me, and here's why. And you can talk about all the different struggles that you went through, like, oh, I didn't want to spend $10 a month on hosting services, but I really wanted my blog to look professional. When I wasn't making any money from my blog, oh, it was so hard, but, and then go into their ways, the things that you want to talk about. And, you can always, especially if you're writing for a client and you're a ghostwriter, you can include industry examples instead of personal stories. You can find case studies and talk about how company X, Y, or Z did it. All right, so I'm going to take an example. I sometimes write about health and wellness, and I have overcome eczema. So here's my example. Suppose I'm writing a blog post, how to eliminate your stubborn eczema from your life. And then you would tell a story about how the ugly red eczema on your skin ruined your wedding day pictures and made you extremely uncomfortable on the best day of your life. Or how the itching and peeling distracted you from having fun at that graduation party. The burning sensations kept you up at night, rubbing that patch of eczema on your legs. Do you see how I'm really calling on my own experience? So, and the emotion. Um, so people on their wedding day, oh, that's their best day of their life, but itchy red eczema on your arms could make your pictures look not so perfect. So that adds in a bit of emotion to emotional appeal. Now let's talk about overcoming the issues that your readers might have. Okay, so I'm talking about a hypothetical eczema solution. I'll talk about how I overcame the issues. Let the readers know you found the solution that they are looking for, and you'll share your secrets to relief from eczema or whatever they're struggling with. You know what it's like to deal with messy tubes of steroid cream that barely provide any relief. That's an issue. See, I'm tapping into their emotional abilities. I'm actually, in this sentence, I'm writing in a conversational way with them. You know what it's like. The messy tubes of steroid cream and barely getting any itch relief. Paint a clear picture of the story that the clients go through. Tap into what are their issues and paint a clear picture of the struggles that they're dealing with. All right, so in copywriting, this is the formula: problem, agitate, provide the solution. You can use this for your intro, you can use it for blog posts, landing pages, email. Problem, agitate, solution. So the problem was eczema. I agitated it by saying, oh, it's keeping me up at night. It ruined my wedding pictures and destroyed my graduation day. But now I have the solution for you. And like I said, you can use it, blog posts, landing pages. You'll just shorten it or lengthen it based on how much copy you're going to want to use. And you will present your blog post, we're still talking blog post intros here though, as the solution. What issues does your blog post solve? If you have like 4 different topics you're talking about, you can quickly go over in the intro that you're going to address them. Pinpoint the issues, state it and agitate it. Why is it so awful? And finally, present your blog post as a solution. So I'm going to do an example from Jordan McKell, who's a blog post writer, and she's a popular copywriter. If you aren't willing to learn how to write a pitch, you won't last long as a freelance writer. And then she agitates it by saying you probably won't even land a single gig. Before you know it, you'll be crawling back to your 9-to-5 job and becoming so upset that you drink to oblivion. Today, I'm going to teach you how to write a pitch. See, presenting the solution. Today, I'm going to teach you how to write a pitch. All right, I'm going to repeat this because this is like the most important thing. When you're writing, know your reader, know their struggles, and know their goals. Back up any information that you need to present with statistics or that you can. But you don't want to get it so heavy that you're like citing a statistic every single paragraph. And then overcoming objections. Think about why your client would leave your blog post. This is important because sometimes the topics are so similar, but the target clients are not. And for example, when targeting startup companies, you want to be concerned about their marketing budget. You'll look for like ways to do marketing without any money. Enterprise companies, they won't be as concerned about funding their next marketing project, but they'll want to know how quickly they can get results. They may not need the latest marketing technique that doesn't cost a dime. They just may want the one that's fastest. An enterprise company may be turned off about spending more time than money on a project. Did I get that backwards? That's okay. All right, so overcoming objections. What are the benefits that your target client is looking to gain from this? Always ask yourself this. And how can you promise those benefits? Okay, that's the last page. Now I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you an example of a great introduction. All right, so we talked about the difference between startups and enterprise companies, ways to motivate your sales team without spending money. So this is going to be targeted more to small business, startup, concerned with their sales team's performance. Being a sales rep in the security industry is a tough job, getting relatable. It involves long hours on the road, countless prospect meetings with endless questions, and the strong chance of rejection. After weeks of spending months of exhausted days, maintaining a positive attitude can become increasingly challenging. That's relatable. If you're in sales, you know it's a tough job. Business owners and sales managers must recognize that keeping your sales team positive with a motivated attitude is what will set you apart from other security companies. However, fostering this type of attitude isn't always easy, especially if you can't afford to increase your salary or commission. So there's your problem. Good news, and here they're presenting the solution, is there are 4 things you can do to motivate your sales team without having to spend any extra money. And then he goes into the 4 things: communicate effectively, compliment often, harness competition, and low-cost incentives. So it wasn't like a super strong example. It's very industry specific, but they do create an emotional appeal. Not super logical. No, I'm not seeing any like statistics in this one, but it's still a good example. Now let's do plant-based weight loss for our vegans out there. Oh, so Beyonce's into the weight loss thing. Let's see what whole food plant-based diet, weight loss naturally. Weight loss physician 7-day vegan meal plan. 1,200 calories. Now let's analyze their hook. Eating vegan is associated with a decreased risk for diabetes, heart disease, and certain types of cancer. Logical appeal, but not really strong. Plus, at 1,200 calories, this vegan weight loss plan sets you up for a healthy 1 to 2 pounds per week. It gives you the benefit right in the intro. Not a super strong appeal. They're not using much conversational language, but it's okay. Following a vegan diet or even just including more plant foods in your routine can be a healthy and delicious approach to eating. Research has shown, there you go, there's your authority, that cutting back on animal products includes eating more beans, blah, blah, blah. Not super great. It gives you what you want right away, and that's why it's pretty good. So I'm actually gonna stop right there because I don't feel like analyzing any more of them. But I want to thank you for tuning in today and learning more about writing effective intros. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe below.